You think science has all the answers? Every mystery solved? Every question answered? Every strange thing on Earth cataloged and filed away? But there are discoveries sitting in labs right now that make researchers scratch their heads and admit they have no clue. Objects that defy physics. Artifacts that shouldn't exist. Phenomena that break every rule we thought we knew. 12 cases where the smartest people on the planet look at the evidence and say one thing: we don't know. If you value documented scientific mysteries like this, subscribe. It's the best way to support our work. Also, comment from which city you're hearing this from. This script is researched and factual, using sources from Nature and Scientific American. Now back to the story. Number 1, the Antikythera mechanism, 1901, 60 meters down off the Greek coast. Sponge divers pull up bronze gears more complex than anything built for the next 1,000 years. X-rays reveal 82 fragments of clockwork that predicts eclipses, tracks planets, calculates Olympic Games 4 years ahead. The gear ratios match lunar cycles to the day. Inscriptions name months, constellations, Egyptian calendar dates. One gear has 223 teeth, another has 53. The math works perfectly for Venus retrograde motion. But the technology shouldn't exist for 15 centuries. The Greeks had no precision metalworking, no differential gears, no mechanical computers, yet here sits proof they built one. Michael Wright at London Science Museum spent 30 years reconstructing the mechanism using only tools available in ancient Greece. His bronze replica calculates planetary positions accurate to 1 degree. The original device required machining tolerances of 0.1 millimeters. No other Greek artifact shows such precision. The nearest comparable technology appears in medieval Islamic clockwork from the 13th century. That's 1,200 years too late. The bronze corroded in seawater for 2 millennia. The mechanism still computes, still works. Still makes no sense. Number 2, the WOW signal, August 15th, 1977, 10:23 p.m. Eastern Time. Big Ear radio telescope in Ohio locks onto something transmitting from Sagittarius. 72 seconds of narrowband radio waves at exactly 1420 megahertz. Jerry Amon circles the printout, writes, "Wow," in red ink. The signal strength jumps 30 times above background noise. It matches no known astronomical object, no satellite, no terrestrial source. The frequency sits in the waterhole, the quietest part of the radio spectrum where hydrogen and hydroxyl absorb cosmic noise, perfect for communication. SETI researchers calculate the transmitter would need gigawatt power levels to reach Earth from that distance. No natural process generates signals that focused, that strong, that brief. The signal's bandwidth measures exactly 10 kilohertz, the narrowest possible for natural hydrogen emission. But natural hydrogen doesn't pulse in 72-second bursts. The signal originated from coordinates: right ascension 19 hours, 25 minutes, declination minus 27 degrees. Follow-up observations using the same telescope find nothing. The Very Large Array scans the location for months. Radio silence. Arecibo dedicates observation time. Still nothing. The signal never repeats. 47 years of searching the same coordinates finds nothing. No follow-up transmission, no second contact. Just 72 seconds that shouldn't exist, followed by eternal silence. The data sits in the National Radio Astronomy Observatory archives. The explanation doesn't... impossible. Calculated. Gone. Number 3, the bloop. Summer of 1997. Pacific coordinate 1,500 miles west of Chile. Underwater microphones detect a sound louder than any known biological source. The frequency matches whale calls, but the amplitude suggests something 5 times larger than a blue whale. The sound profile shows rapid frequency decay over 7 minutes. It originates from a depth of 4,000 meters. DOE-A's hydrophone array triangulates the source using 6 different underwater listening stations. The acoustic signature peaks at 23 Hz, with harmonics extending to 60 Hz. Blue whale calls max out at 188 decibels. The bloop measured over 200 decibels at the source. Marine biologists calculate an animal would need to be over 100 meters long to generate such volume. No known species approaches that size. The largest recorded blue whale measured 33 meters. Sperm whales dive to 4,000 meters, but their clicks reach completely different frequencies. The sound repeats 17 times between May and August 1997, then stops completely. Each occurrence shows identical frequency patterns but varying intensities. Geological surveys find no underwater volcanic activity in the region during that period. No seismic events correlate with the bloop timestamps. No military submarine operates in those coordinates. The Navy confirms no classified operations in the area. Hydrophone arrays across the Pacific triangulate the source to within 50 kilometers. The location sits above the Pacific Antarctic Ridge. The ocean floor there drops to 6,000 meters. Nothing lives that deep that could generate those sound levels, yet something did. Number 4. Fast radio bursts. 2007 to present. Arriving from deep space, millisecond flashes of radio waves carrying more energy than the sun produces in 3 days. The first one appeared in archived data from the Parkes telescope. FRB 07019, duration 5 milliseconds, peak flux 1200 millijanskis, dispersion measure 375 parsecs per cubic centimeter. That puts the source 3 billion light years away. Since then, over 4,000 detected from random directions across the universe. Some repeat on 20-day cycles, others flash once and vanish forever. FRB 180916 repeats every 16 days for 4 days, then goes quiet for 12. The pattern suggests orbital mechanics around a massive companion object, but the energy requirements break physics. The source generates 10 to the 40th watts in milliseconds. That's equivalent to 500 million suns, condensed into a burst briefer than a human heartbeat. No known stellar process generates radio bursts that bright, that brief. Magnetar flares reach high energies but last seconds, not milliseconds. Colliding neutron stars produce gamma rays, not focused radio beams. Black hole mergers generate gravitational waves with different signatures entirely. The signals punch through interstellar dust and plasma without scattering. They carry information in their polarization patterns, suggesting structured magnetic fields at the source. They arrive precisely on time from sources that shouldn't exist. Radio telescopes detect new ones weekly. The Canadian Hydrogen Intensity Mapping Experiment catalogs hundreds monthly. Every discovery deepens the mystery. Over 4,000 detected. 0 explained. Number 5, the Voynich manuscript. Carbon dated to the early 1500s, 240 pages of impossible text. The language doesn't match any known writing system. Computer analysis identifies consistent grammar, repeated words, linguistic patterns that suggest real meaning, but no linguist, cryptographer, or AI system can decode a single word. Yale's Gordon Rugg spent years trying to prove the manuscript was medieval hoax generated by random tables. His experiments failed to reproduce the statistical patterns found in the text. The word frequency distribution follows Zipf's law like natural languages, but differs from all known language families. Character analysis reveals an alphabet of 20 to 30 unique symbols with consistent usage rules. Some pages contain the same word repeated dozens of times, suggesting lists or catalogs. The illustrations show plants that don't exist in any botanical reference. Botanists identify elements from real species combined in impossible ways. Astronomical charts display familiar zodiac symbols alongside unknown constellations. The anatomical diagrams show organ systems that don't match human physiology. Female figures bathe in green pools connected by pipe networks. Castle-like structures float in cosmic landscapes. Radiocarbon dating confirms medieval parchment and inks from multiple time periods, suggesting decades of composition. Spectral analysis identifies authentic 15th century pigments, including lapis lazuli, worth its weight in gold. The binding matches European bookmaking techniques of that period using materials available only in northern Italy, but the content belongs to no known culture or knowledge system. Holy Roman Emperor Rudolph II paid 600 gold ducats for the manuscript in 1606. That's equivalent to $50,000 today. Why spend a fortune on gibberish? 400 years of attempts to crack the code have failed completely. Yale's Benica Library houses the original under climate-controlled conditions. Researchers examine it using multispectral imaging and computer analysis. The mystery stays locked inside. Number 6, Baltic Sea anomaly, June 19th, 2011, 87 meters below the surface. OceanX team's sonar contacts show a 60-meter circular object with geometric edges and a 400-meter debris trail. The formation sits on the seafloor between Sweden and Finland at coordinates 59 degrees north, 19 degrees east. Side-scan sonar reveals straight lines, right angles, curved sections that don't occur naturally. The object shows stepped terraces and what appears to be a staircase leading to a dark entrance. Divers report the object appears metallic with surface textures like worked stone covered in soot. The structure shows 90-degree angles and circular formations extending deep into the seafloor. Metal samples contain iron, titanium, manganese, and silicon in ratios not found in local geology. The composition doesn't match known meteorite signatures or natural rock formations. Electromagnetic equipment malfunctions within 200 meters of the site. Satellite phones lose signal completely. GPS devices show incorrect coordinates. Compass needles spin without finding magnetic north. Camera equipment experiences power drains and electronic interference. The electromagnetic anomaly extends in a perfect circle around the object, suggesting an artificial field generator. Ice Age geological surveys show the Baltic Sea floor was scraped clean by glacial action 12,000 years ago. The area contains only sediment deposits and scattered rocks dropped by retreating ice. No bedrock protrusions exist in the region, yet something geometric sits there defying geological history. The debris trail points southwest, suggesting the object slid across the seafloor before settling. Marine archaeologists find no evidence of shipwrecks or known artifacts in the area. The Swedish Maritime Administration classifies the site as a navigation hazard. The coordinates remain classified to prevent unauthorized diving. Commercial fishing boats report sonar contacts but receive warnings to avoid the location. The object remains unexplained, detected, measured, impossible. Number 7. The Hessdalen Lights, 1981 to present, Central Norway Valley. Unexplained lights appear in the sky following no predictable pattern. Some hover motionless for hours, glowing with steady luminosity. Others accelerate to impossible speeds without sound or sonic booms. Automatic cameras capture structured objects with geometric shapes, including triangles, spheres, and elongated cigars. The phenomena occur year-round in all weather conditions, from ground level to 3,000 meters altitude. Temperature measurements using infrared sensors show the lights generate no heat signature, despite visible luminosity across multiple wavelengths. Motion tracking reveals 90-degree turns at high velocity with no deceleration curves. Objects disappear instantly from one location and reappear kilometers away within seconds. Radar stations at Hessdalen Observatory detect solid masses moving at velocities exceeding Mach 3 with no corresponding sonic signatures. The objects show up on multiple radar frequencies, simultaneously indicating metallic composition. Electromagnetic spectrum analysis shows the lights emit radio frequencies across multiple bands from VLF to microwave ranges. The radio emissions pulse in mathematical sequences, including prime numbers and Fibonacci ratios. Some lights respond to laser targeting by changing color or trajectory, suggesting interactive behavior. Norwegian military investigators document over 900 sightings with photographic evidence spanning 4 decades. Multiple independent camera stations triangulate object positions, sizes, stars, and speeds with consistent results. Universities install permanent monitoring equipment, including seismographs, magnetometers, and atmospheric sensors. The Italian research team, EMBLA, operates continuous surveillance using automated systems. Scientists from Japan, France, and the United States contribute monitoring equipment and expertise. The data accumulates in terabytes of measurements and observations. The explanation doesn't. Number 8, Tabby's Star, October 2015, 1,400 light-years away in Cygnus constellation. Kepler Space Telescope detects irregular dimming that doesn't match any known celestial object. The star's brightness drops 22% over days, then returns to normal levels. No planet transit creates that dramatic dimming pattern. Jupiter blocking its star dims light by only 1%. The largest known exoplanet causes 3% dimming maximum. Comet swarms don't create such sharp light curves. The dimming events show no periodicity or predictable timing. Some last hours, others weeks with varying intensities. Spectral analysis shows no gas absorption lines that would indicate comet impacts or stellar outgassing. Infrared observations detect no excess heat from dusty debris that would glow from absorbed starlight. The star's luminosity fluctuates in ways that violate stellar physics models. Normal stars vary brightness by fractions of a percent over predictable cycles. KIC 846, 2852 shows variations exceeding 20% with chaotic timing. Citizen scientists analyzing Kepler data discover the dimming started in the 1800s based on photographic plate analysis from Harvard College Observatory. Century-long observations show the star dimmed 10% overall, while neighboring stars remained constant. Modern photometry confirms the historical trend continues. Spitzer. Space telescope observations rule out warm dust clouds. The lack of infrared excess eliminates most natural explanations. Harvard astronomers propose megastructure construction around the star as the only hypothesis consistent with observations. The dimming pattern matches theoretical models of artificial constructs like solar collectors or habitat rings. Other researchers suggest shattered planets or swarms of alien technology. SETI investigators target the star with radio telescopes searching for artificial signals. 3 years of intensive study provide no natural explanation. Follow-up observations using ground-based telescopes confirm the anomalous behavior continues. The star keeps dimming in unpredictable patterns. Science keeps guessing. Number 9, the Atacama Skeleton, October 2003, Chilean desert ghost town La Noria. Construction workers uncover a 15-centimeter mummified humanoid wrapped in white cloth inside an abandoned building. The skeleton shows an elongated skull, 10 ribs instead of 12, and bone density matching a 6 to 8-year-old child despite its tiny size. X-rays reveal the skull sutures fuse prematurely, indicating rapid brain growth. The spine shows vertebrae compression consistent with dwarfism, but the proportions don't match known conditions. DNA analysis confirms human origin with XY male chromosomes, but identifies multiple unknown genetic mutations affecting bone development. The skeleton shows premature epiphyseal fusion, suggesting accelerated aging disorders. Radiocarbon dating places the remains at approximately 500 years old, predating Spanish colonization. The preservation state defies the arid environment timeline where soft tissue typically desiccates within decades. Soft tissue analysis detects compounds not present in normal human biochemistry, including elevated levels of rare earth elements. The concentration of lithium, boron, and strontium exceeds normal human baselines by factors of 10. These elements don't occur naturally in the Atacama Desert soil or groundwater. Multiple laboratories, including Stanford University School of Medicine, confirm the genetic anomalies, but can't explain their combined occurrence in a single individual. The mutations affect genes controlling bone growth, organ development, and cellular metabolism simultaneously. No known syndrome produces this combination of skeletal abnormalities. The DNA shows markers suggesting the individual survived to an age incompatible with the severe developmental disorders present. The skeleton challenges human developmental biology textbook understanding. The mutations remain unexplained by current genetic science. Number 10, the Ubaid lizardmen, 4500 BCE, southern Mesopotamia. Archaeological excavations uncover thousands of clay figurines depicting humanoid beings with reptilian heads, elongated skulls, and lizard-like faces. The artifacts span multiple Ubaid sites across modern Iraq. Kuwait and eastern Syria, covering over 50 archaeological locations. Carbon dating confirms the figurines predate known Mesopotamian civilizations, including Sumer by 2 millennia. The artistic style shows consistent anatomical details across different locations and time periods, indicating shared cultural knowledge. Figurine analysis reveals standardized proportions and manufacturing techniques, suggesting mass production rather than individual artistic expression. Some figurines hold babies with identical reptilian features, implying reproductive continuity. Others appear in positions of authority wearing elaborate headdresses and ceremonial robes. Female figurines show nursing postures with reptilian infants. Male figurines carry staffs or weapons in commanding poses. The craftsmanship indicates specialized artisans working with sophisticated firing techniques and quality clay preparation. Similar figurines appear nowhere else in ancient art from contemporary cultures. Egyptian, Indus Valley, and early Chinese artifacts show no comparable imagery. The figurines challenge assumptions about early human religious concepts and mythological development. Museums including the British Museum, Louvre, and Iraq National Museum display hundreds of examples. Archaeological reports document over 6,000 individual figurines from controlled excavations. The consistent reptilian motifs across millennia and geographical distance suggest shared cultural significance beyond random artistic choice. Archaeologists offer no explanation for the persistent imagery or its sudden disappearance from later Mesopotamian art. Number 11, the Longyu Caves, discovered 1992, Zhejiang Province, China. Local farmers drain artificial ponds and discover 24 enormous artificial caverns carved from solid siltstone bedrock. Each cave spans several thousand square meters with ceilings reaching 30 meters high, supported by precisely carved pillars. The walls show systematic tool marks indicating organized excavation using consistent techniques. Structural engineers calculate the caves required removing nearly 1 million cubic meters of rock, equivalent to building material for a medium-sized pyramid. The work would have taken thousands of laborers working full-time for decades using primitive tools, but no historical records mention the construction in Chinese annals spanning 3,000 years. No spoil piles exist nearby to account for the excavated material. The nearest quarries sit hundreds of kilometers away, ruling out stone transport for construction projects. The caves predate any known Chinese civilization capable of such large-scale engineering, including the Qin dynasty by over a millennium. Carbon dating of organic material found in the caves suggests excavation between 800 and 2,000 years ago. Advanced surveying techniques ensured the 24 caverns don't intersect, despite narrow spacing, averaging only 12 meters between walls. The mathematical precision required sophisticated measurement tools and planning not developed until much later periods. The acoustic properties suggest deliberate design for sound amplification with natural reverberation chambers. Some caves show evidence of drainage systems and ventilation shafts, indicating long-term occupancy planning. Local legends mention the caves in oral traditions, but provide no details about construction methods or original purpose. The engineering achievement defies historical timelines for Chinese technological development. Government restrictions limit access to preserve the site, while researchers study construction techniques. The purpose remains unknown. The builders left no traces. Final mystery forever. Number 12, the Piri Reis map, 1513, Ottoman Imperial Archives. Turkish Admiral Piri Reis creates a world map showing coastlines that shouldn't be known for centuries. The surviving fragment depicts the Atlantic Ocean with South America's eastern coast and Antarctica's northern shore drawn with impossible accuracy. The Antarctic coastline shows mountain ranges and river valleys currently buried under 2 miles of ice. Modern seismic surveys confirm the subglacial topography matches the map's details exactly. The Brazilian coastline accuracy exceeds contemporary Portuguese charts by orders of magnitude. Longitude calculations prove accurate to within half a degree using mathematical techniques not developed until the 1700s. The Falkland Islands appear in correct positions relative to Argentina's coast. The map shows Antarctica connected to South America, as recent geological surveys confirm happened millions of years ago. But Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until 1820, when Russian explorers first sighted the continent. The ice sheet hiding the mapped features formed during glaciation periods long before human civilization. Glaciologists estimate the coastlines shown on the map were last ice-free over 6 million years ago based on ice core analysis. Source notes written by Piri Reis himself reference ancient charts obtained from captured Spanish navigators who claimed inheritance from Alexandrian library collections. The Admiral lists Christopher Columbus charts, Portuguese Atlantic surveys, and ancient maps drawn in the time of Alexander as sources. Libraries of Alexandria reportedly contained geographical knowledge from ancient circumnavigation attempts, including Phoenician and pre-Columbian voyages. The cartographic accuracy exceeds the navigation tools and mathematical knowledge available in 1513. Mercator projection techniques used on the map weren't formally developed until 1569. The information sources remain lost to history, with no surviving ancient maps matching the described detail level. In 2023, researchers drilling ice core samples in central Antarctica discovered wooden tool fragments at depths corresponding to the ice-free coastlines shown on the Piri Reis map. The wood dates to periods when the continent should have been completely frozen under continental ice sheets. Carbon-14 analysis places the wood fragments between 2 and 6 million years old. The fragments match no known polar vegetation from those geological periods. Microscopic analysis reveals cut marks indicating human tool use during ice-free periods spanning millions of years. The discovery suggests human presence in Antarctica during warm periods that predate accepted timelines for human evolution and migration. The map wasn't showing imagination, it was showing memory. Some mysteries don't need solving, they need remembering.